House of the Dragon Season 3, Episode 7 just changed everything. House of the Dragon has built a reputation for delivering explosive penultimate episodes, and Season 3, Episode 7 arrives carrying that same expectation. Titled The Dragon in Winter, this chapter doesn't simply prepare the battlefield for the finale. It reshapes the emotional landscape of the war. Some storylines soar with unforgettable performances and spectacular payoffs, while others leave behind frustrating questions about the direction of certain characters. The result is an episode filled with shocking twists, emotional confrontations, and dragon-fueled chaos that keeps the Dance of the Dragons racing toward its inevitable breaking point. Even with its uneven moments, this episode delivers several scenes that instantly rank among the strongest in the series. The episode opens with one of its most haunting sequences as Helaena Targaryen drifts through a peaceful dream inside the Red Keep before waking to a harsh reality. Her quiet moment is interrupted by Rhaenyra, whose growing obsession with prophecy has begun consuming her judgment. Rather than comforting Helaena or respecting the mysterious nature of dragon dreams, Rhaenyra desperately demands answers about the future, the war, and her own destiny. Emma Darcy delivers a chilling performance, revealing a queen whose growing power is slowly eroding her compassion. Helena's fear becomes impossible to ignore, especially as later visions hint at devastating events still waiting to unfold, including terrifying glimpses involving her children, Dreamfire, and even the icy threat beyond the wall. These dream sequences add another layer of mystery, while reminding viewers that the cost of this war stretches far beyond the battlefield. Meanwhile, Harrenhal continues to produce the season's strangest storyline as Aemon battles both physical wounds and psychological torment. Disturbing visions blur the line between nightmare and reality, leading him into deeply unsettling encounters before the truth is finally revealed. Alicent eventually arrives at the Cursed Castle, and while Olivia Cook and Ewan Mitchell once again give outstanding performances, their storyline remains frustratingly repetitive. Aemon's obsession with his mother continues to dominate his character, while Alicent finds herself trapped in another impossible situation. Their uneasy reunion ultimately ends with betrayal as Alicent poisons her own son before escaping, leaving Aemon collapsing once again into the hands of Alice Rivers. It is another reminder that Harrenhal remains a place where nobody truly escapes unchanged. Fortunately, the episode finds its emotional center elsewhere. Aegon Targaryen delivers what is unquestionably the standout storyline of the hour. Cornered alongside Larys Strong and Tywin Lannister while attempting to flee Rook's Rest, Aegon finally stops running from his responsibilities. Accepting that death may be inevitable, he chooses to face his enemies as a king rather than die as a fugitive. Tom Glencarney gives one of his finest performances of the entire series as Aegon delivers a powerful declaration of his claim to the Iron Throne. Then comes the moment that completely changes everything. Emerging from the trees comes Sunfire, battered but alive, answering his rider's voice once again. It is an unforgettable payoff that transforms hopelessness into triumph and reminds everyone why the bond between dragon and rider remains one of the most powerful forces in Westeros.
Sunfire. Dracarys.
Welcome to the Film Analyst. Elsewhere, Daemon's search for Rhaena leads to another major confrontation as the mystery surrounding Sheepstealer reaches its climax. Daemon finally shows genuine compassion toward his neglected daughter, admitting the failures that have haunted their relationship. Before they can repair that bond, Rhaenyra arrives, setting the stage for a massive confrontation involving 4 dragons. While the spectacle is visually ambitious, the emotional impact never quite reaches the heights the series has achieved in previous battles. The conflict resolves Rhaena's storyline for now, but leaves questions about whether enough time was spent developing her connection with Sheepstealer to make the climax feel fully earned. Back in King's Landing, the political game becomes just as dangerous as the battles in the sky. Rhaenyra and Daemon finally confront the growing distrust between them. Yet beneath their disagreement, there remains a sense of understanding built around protecting family. Mysaria, however, continues quietly advancing her own agenda. By positioning herself closer to the queen, both politically and personally, she gains influence at exactly the moment Rhaenyra's confidence begins to fracture. At the same time, another dangerous conspiracy takes shape as Ormond Hightower secretly wins over Ulf the White with promises of power, land, and recognition, setting up what could become one of the most devastating betrayals of the entire war. By the time the credits roll, the Dragon in Winter leaves Westeros balanced on the edge of catastrophe. Helena's visions grow darker. Aegon rises from despair despair alongside Sunfire. Rhaenyra's inner circle becomes increasingly unstable, and betrayal waits just beyond the horizon. Not every storyline lands with equal strength, but the episode succeeds where it matters most by raising the stakes before the season finale. With the first battle of Tumbleton now looming and loyalties beginning to crack on every side, the Dance of the Dragons is finally ready to erupt into its deadliest chapter yet. Thanks for watching.